Now, high performance is not about doing more, it's actually about doing less. This is a misconception that in order to become a high performer, we have to do more, and more. That's not true. In order to be a high performer, we do less to achieve more. This is the difference that makes the difference. Welcome to Present Potential. I'm your host, Hassan, and the reason I launched this podcast is to create a ripple effect of optimism that reaches 1 billion people in the next decade. Ambitious? Very. Scary? A little bit. The aim of Present Potential is to empower listeners by sharing stories of individuals who've turned challenges into opportunities, proving that we all have untapped potential. If you're new to this podcast, welcome. If you've tuned in before, thank you for your support, and I hope you find value in these conversations. Welcome to another episode of Present Potential, where we prove that we all have the potential to do everything that we can in the present moment. I'm your host, Hassan, and I'm so thankful for everyone for tuning in. In this episode, I'll be sharing with you what's been going on the past few weeks and the reasons behind why I haven't been publishing episodes on a weekly basis. Now, before we do that, I'd love to share with you the sponsor of this podcast. What if great coaches could scale? I've teamed up with CoachBot.ai to build Alexis, my first coach agent on the world's first ethical AI coach marketplace, where expert coaches become coachpreneurs, building AI assistants that guide, support, and inspire growth seekers at scale. CoachBot helps coaches who care reach seekers who dare with trusted AI. Explore the future of coaching at coachbot.ai. Since the last episode, I've had an interesting month so far. I haven't published any episodes in the month of June, and I'll share with you the reasons why. Firstly, because it's time consuming. It really takes a lot of effort to actually set up the camera, the lights, the microphones, to sit down and record, and then to actually share some things that are on my mind. And then there's the editing part, but I'm not going to bore you with all of that. It's just time consuming. But when I started this journey, I said that I will be publishing on a weekly basis. So I hope you would forgive me for my shortcomings. It's just proof that I'm human as well, and I do make mistakes. Now, even today's episode, I did not feel like I wanted to record it, but I told myself that I'm going to record 2 to 5 minutes. That's it. Because anything more might be a little bit too overwhelming in terms of the time that it takes to edit and prepare the episode. But we'll see where it goes. So that's really the main reason. The other reason is it's just been a bit tiring. The past few weeks have been challenging. And for anyone who's building a business or is an entrepreneur or is a coach building their business can completely understand how the journey is, the navigation of the ups and downs and the obstacles that we have to overcome. This journey is such a lonely journey. It's so lonely. And there's no one that we speak to. We do things on our own. We wake up, we have a plan, we execute the plan, we build, we create, we do things, we inspire people, we feel inspired, we learn, we build the knowledge, and we continue going. And all of this is just going based on our instincts and sometimes planning does not work. So since the last time that I've posted, what have I been doing? I want to tell you maybe 2 or 3 things. The first is I've decided to rebrand my coaching business completely, and I'll tell you the reason why. So previously, my website was www.hmshohaty.com. Now, imagine if we're on the phone, or if we're talking in the street, or if I handed you out my business card, or if I shared with you my email somewhere, and I told you my email is so-and-so at hmshohaty.com. So this is actually what happened. I was on a call with a potential client, and we've agreed to exchange details so that I can send them some information and arrange a meeting to discuss. And when they asked me for my email, that conversation took 5 minutes. It was the most painful conversation I've ever had because I kept repeating it's Hotel Mother Sugar, Hotel Oscar, Hotel Alpha Tango Yankee, and that spells the website and also my email. And the lady on the other side, I don't blame her. She didn't understand it. She's like, so it's HSATY. Are we missing something? I felt so depleted because it's such a difficult email and website to give out to people. So I decided to completely rebrand myself. And I've had this thought for a while now because I wanted to choose a name and domain that actually represents what I do and also the name of the coaching and the things that I've endeavored to pursue for the rest of my life. So it's a big decision to make. And I decided to go with something very simple. My website now is Hello HMS. That's it. Hello HMS. It's like very easy to remember and it's so convenient to share with people. What's your website? Hello HMS. That's it. It's so much easier to say this now compared to what I used to say before. HMS are my initials, Hassan Muhammad Al-Shohaty. They're also what I do. It's the habits, mindsets, and strategies. It's the high performance behind it, HMS. It's my company's name, High Performance Solutions. So it's also HMS. So everything that is HMS revolves around everything that I do. So I've decided to really embrace that brand and I've recreated everything from my website to my email to the domains to everything that is connected to it. And now I'm very proud to announce that this rebranding is almost complete. There's one thing that I'm waiting for, which is registering the trading name with the registration authorities in Cyprus. I'm waiting for the lawyers to confirm that the name that I've chosen is also approved, and that will be that for now, at least. And we'll see how things go. And with that, I've also decided to slightly pivot my coaching services. So previously, I used to serve clients, individuals, and corporates. Now, from my own high performance journey and understanding what works and what doesn't work, I've realized that it's so important to focus on the difference that makes the difference. Let me say that again. It's so important to focus on the difference that makes the difference. These are the small things that create the big changes. If you've heard of the 80-20 law or Pareto effect, or how 80% of the output is determined by 20% of the effort. And there's a really great book called The 80-20 Principle or Guide by Richard Koch, I think, if I'm pronouncing his name correctly. He talks about this extensively and how this phenomenon is apparent in every single type of endeavor that anyone does. So, what I've noticed in my own coaching business is that 80% of my growth, of my clients, of my revenues is coming from corporate clients. I enjoy working with individuals and I connect with them really closely because there's no one sponsoring their coaching. But I've realized that my coaching is completely geared towards the corporate side. And that's why I've decided to revamp and to rebrand my coaching for that purpose. Now, previously, I used to provide high performance coaching. I continue to do that. I provide high performance coaching for leaders. And now I offer 5 different coaching tracks, 5 tracks for everyone to choose from. Now, if you're an individual who's interested, you can also apply for these tracks. The first one is strategic leadership mastery. So this is for the MDs, the executives, the directors, the leaders of the companies who want someone trusted by their side to speak with, to discuss vision, to talk about strategy, to align, to understand how we can collaborate their teams even better to achieve the goals that they've set to achieve. If they don't have goals, we also conduct different types of audits and tools to understand what they want to achieve. Secondly, I'm providing Team Leadership Accelerator. Team Leadership Accelerator is one of the most sought out coaching tracks that I have. This is for managers and senior managers who lead teams and anyone who's been recently promoted into that position. That's such a critical position. Now, they say that middle management is the most vulnerable position because it's so easy to break. It's right in the middle. If we take a long stick and we hold it from each ends, the middle is the most vulnerable place. And that's where middle management is. And that's what this coaching track is all about. Team Leadership Accelerator. And it provides team leaders with a trusted guide that is able to support them in managing themselves and their teams. So understanding what they want to achieve, what their goals are, how to speak up, how to conduct client meetings, how to perform, how to communicate with senior managers, how to communicate with their junior subordinates, how to adjust their lifestyle to be able to achieve the things that they want to achieve, how to manage their stress levels. So all of these different elements are part of this coaching track. Obviously, there are overlaps between the tracks, but we focus on what the purpose is and the goal of each individual in the coaching track. Then, obviously, we have speak with confidence. Why do I say obviously? Because communication is one of the biggest parts of my coaching. We focus on how we speak to ourselves, how we speak to others, and how to deliver effective communication so that our message is clear, whether it is within team meetings, whether it's in sales, whether it's presenting, whether it's keynote, whether it's delivering any kind of presentation or pitch or panel discussion. This coaching track is specific for those types of people who want to improve their communication skills to be able to deliver the services or the goals that they want to achieve. The fourth rather, is high performance without burnout. High performance without burnout. This is a coaching track for anyone, for any professional who's looking to amplify their performance without burnout. What does that mean? We go through an audit to understand what lifestyle habits we have developed and we address them. So these can include sleep, exercise, food, routines, mindset, and we focus on what is important first. So when we understand that if our sleep is not as optimized as we want, we would focus on that. We'd build habits and routines based on our bedtime routine to be able to wake up feeling energized and fulfilled. Sleep is one of the most important, if not the most important habit that we can develop. So that's one of the things that we start with. And there's a lot of research that I also bring into the coaching sessions and also this specific coaching track to be able to amplify that effectiveness of what we can do in order to achieve high performance. High performance is not about doing more. It's actually about doing less. This is a misconception that in order to become a high performer, we have to do more, and more. That's not true. In order to be a high performer, we do less to achieve more. This is the difference that makes the difference. It's everything that I do. Now, finally, the last coaching track, which is a longer term track. This is the strategic leadership journey. It's a 12-month coaching track. We meet once a month, and this is really where I partner with people who are transitioning into either senior roles and want to establish themselves, who are positioning themselves as new team leaders, who have not any experience before, anyone who is navigating their career and going to different companies and joining new companies and having a team that they need to manage. So they've inherited that team and they want to build something in the new company and to prove themselves. Or it's someone who's building something completely new. So it's the innovators, disruptors. This is the coaching track for that. This coaching track actually encompasses almost everything that we do in all the other 4 different coaching tracks. So these are the 5 coaching tracks. There's more information on my website, and my website is hellohms.com. So easy to remember. Hello HMS. You can check them out. There are brochures, there are videos that you can really see what's been going on there. This is part of the rebranding because I've decided to create videos to make it easier. And I've used AI to also generate these videos. And there's a lot of testing that goes into it and a lot of behind the scenes. I'm not going to bore you with all of that, but it's so important to be able to feel comfortable with failing, with making mistakes, with testing, with verifying. And this is exactly what I've been doing in the past few weeks. I've been testing consistently. I've created so many videos and I would share them with trusted few to share with me their feedback. And in the beginning, the first video, it was funny, but it was horrible. It was too long. There was confusion in the messages and it wasn't clear as to who I'm addressing. So I've recreated all of those videos all over again. And now it's a little bit better. Is it perfect? Probably not. But for the purpose that it's serving at this moment, they are the best that they are. In the future, if I want to continue to improve them, then that is what I'm going to be doing. And that's also what's bringing me to the last part of this episode, is that finding the right balance in terms of what you're doing in your professional and your personal life. I've seen this so many times, and I've seen a lot of posts on social media about finding the right balance, about work-life balance, about 50-50. There's no such thing as 50-50, and there's no such thing as a one work-life balance that is perfect for everyone. Work-life balance is something that was developed in the past 120 years. The first people who actually started talking about work-life balance were those that were in the Industrial Revolution. And they've realized that people were working long hours and feeling exhausted and not spending time with their families. So they've decided that it's best to split the day into 8 hours of work, 8 hours of sleep, 8 hours of other things. So it's nice and balanced. That's 8, 8, and 8. But that doesn't work for everyone, especially for parents or entrepreneurs or people who are near retirement age or people who are retired or people who are starting their journeys. It does not work in that way. It's so important to understand what works for you. What works for you in your life at this very moment. It's not set in stone, it's dynamic and it changes. And it's okay to change because that's how life is. The only constant thing in life is change. And if we're changing, then our work life schedules will change. And balance doesn't exist in that way. And especially even if we're working in a job, in a company with a specific team for many years, maybe we're working in a certain type of project that requires us to work a little bit longer. Maybe we want to work 10 hours a day during that project. Maybe we want to work less. The bottom line is that you know what works for you and what does not work for you. And the most important thing about work-life balance is to start with ourselves first, to understand what it is that we want to achieve. How much time do we want to dedicate to work and to our personal lives? It's not just the time, it's the energy that matters. And once we understand that, then the next step is to communicate it. Communicate it. If you have a family, it's so important to communicate that to your family so that they understand and they expect that you'd be working longer hours or less hours. And also at work, if you have things in your personal life and you're not able to commit at work, then it's important to communicate this effectively. And you'll find what is the right work-life balance for you. So the reason I'm sharing this with you is because I've noticed that I've really been pushing myself in the first half of the year. In the past few weeks, I've taken a step back. I had less sessions. Most of my clients have been planning their summer holidays. I've rebranded. I've used that time for other things, and I'm enjoying it. I'm really enjoying this part of my success, my life, my growth. It's so important to understand that if I want to do this sustainably for the long term, then I have to understand what works for me. And that's the reason why I'm sharing this with you. And that's the reason why I haven't been publishing these episodes on a regular basis, because I wanted to take time for myself and also for my family. My kids have had a lot of events, a lot of theater shows, end of year parties, have birthday parties and such. So that also was important for me to dedicate my time and energy to. That's all I wanted to share with you today. I thank you for continuing to listen to this podcast. I might not be posting weekly. I'll try. Every time that I do, I'm going to be authentic with you, honest, and completely myself. I don't have anything that I'm reading, just talking to you from the heart. Thank you so much. And until next time, remember that today is the most important day of your life. Thank you for watching and listening to Present Potential. If you found value in this episode, please give it a like, share it with someone who needs to hear it, and subscribe for more. Join the conversation in the comments and let us know your biggest takeaway. If you'd like to listen to other inspiring stories, check out our other episodes on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. Make sure to also follow us on Instagram under Present Potential Podcast, where you get to see behind the scenes and engage with us.